graduates, you look stunning. I'd like to, first of all, acknowledge the presence of Your Excellency, the Ambassador of the Republic of Zambia to the Human Rights and the Secretary, and also Mr. Pope, President of ZASA. It's a great privilege and opportunity to be here. And since I've been given only 3 minutes, which is short, quite a paradox, because it seems like when you're short, everybody has to only give you short. I really don't understand that. But it's a privilege for me, because when I stand in places like this, I get to at least have the privilege to look down on people, when in life, in reality, every time I look at everybody like this. Yeah, so I'm just going to give a short speech, entitled Crossroads, Leaving Your Past Behind and Stepping into Your Future. Why crossroads? Because from what the ambassador said, from his speech, he gave something that is very interesting. He gave a perspective of saying, you have to look at the reality. And the reality is that, as a graduate, you are leaving one era, and you are stepping into another aspect of your life. So, most of us, as we are here right now as graduates, I remember in 2019 when I was having my graduation in public law, it wasn't easy because I looked at my history and the stress, the depression, the frustration, the anxiety that I went through in my first semester to learn the aspects of international law in a foreign country, in a foreign language. It was very complicated. Sometimes I would have sleepless nights. Sometimes I would be depressed. I felt like going home in the first semester. But like many of you, I persevered. Like many of you, I was focused. Like many of you, I was determined, regardless of the odds. If I may ask, Longo, what is next for you? What are you looking forward to? Just one thing.
Gaining some experience,
Okay. Getting some experience, that means working for some time. Humphrey?
I think working.
You think working? Okay. Alright. So, a crossroads, right? There are 3 types of people in life. Those who watch things happen, I call them spectators. Those who let things happen to them, I call them victims. And those who make things happen, I call those leaders. And as you are here right now, your life is like this. Not literally speaking, but yes. So it's like you are graduates. There are those who are going to go straight into jobs. There are those who may go into academia, and there are those who may go for entrepreneurship. But there are those who are in this circle, this space right here. And this is the transition space. It's the space where some people will go home and things will seem like nothing is happening. They'll start asking themselves questions. What am I doing here? Were my studies even worth it? And where am I going to find opportunities? Who am I? Why was I even born? Because even though some people seem to be certain about what they want, there are some people who are very uncertain about what they want. That is the reality. Zig Ziglar once said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So whatever your position of beginning, just start. Like Nike always says, just do it. Just do it. As I'm concluding, let me imagine with me a little bit. There was this rat, a rat. Everybody knows rats, right? Yeah, there are those who even eat rats. How many eat rats? Oh, everything. Okay. Yeah. So there was this rat. Imagine there was this rat. And you know rats like to eat cheese. Well, according to Tom and Jerry. Rats like to eat cheese, right? So there was this rat. It was in a certain place. And it was looking at 4 different holes. But one thing is that it was focused on only one particular hole. Why? Because from this hole, there was a scent of cheese that kept coming from this hole. But there were different holes around him. 4 different holes surrounding him. And so, what this rat did was, it went into the hole. The first day, as it went into the hole, it followed the scent, and it found the cheese. It was excited. So the second day, automatically said, yeah, this is where the cheese is. It went back again the second day, into the same hole. The smell was still there. And it found the cheese. The third day, there was no scent. But it still went back to the same hole. Now, there were 4 holes. But it still went back to the same hole, even though there was no scent of the cheese. It went back into the same hole, and it found no cheese. And then it went back disappointed. The 4th day again, it still went back to the same hole. Now, there are 4 holes. It didn't even bother to check the other 3 holes. It went back into the same hole. It found no cheese. And the 5th day again, it said, how come I keep going back into this hole and there is no more cheese? So it decided to explore the other holes. And when it went into one of the other holes, even though there was no smell of cheese, it found cheese. Are you with me? Now, this is how almost everybody is in the world. We are creatures of habit. We are like that rat. Whenever we find a place where we are promised consumption, we are promised security, we are promised stability, we tend to move ourselves to that location. And you find that even though gradually this space that seemed comfortable, things may not be seeming to happen, you still want to go back there. Why? Because that is where you had your first experience. They say experience is a great teacher, but not in this case. Experience is a doom in this case. So, you are graduates. You have your degrees in accounting, your degrees in engineering, your degrees in medicine. That is your safe space. That is what you have studied. That is where you are hoping to get your opportunities. And that is where you are focused on. But then what happens if, as somebody who studied engineering, you go into Zambia and no mine wants you, no engineering industry wants you? What are you going to say? No, connection, connection, shiny, employment with Zambia, shiny. But you find that when you try to move out of that, you take off your graduation gown, you take off your papers as an engineer, then you step out a little bit and say, okay, now what can I see? You find maybe they even give you an opportunity in administration, but you studied engineering. But it's the beginning. So you take that opportunity, you never know. Maybe in that place where you'll be working in administration, you might meet somebody who might tell you about somebody, about an opening somewhere. So what am I trying to say? Don't be stuck to your comfort zone of what you have studied. Even as you stay focused, as you stay determined, as you have plans, here's the secret. Always maintain your purpose and your mission, but don't be in bondage to your plans. Plans may change, but always maintain your purpose. There is always many different routes to accomplishing what you desire to accomplish. Life is a process. The ambassador said you have to be realistic. So that does not mean that letting go of your dreams. No. It simply means that opening up yourself to receive what God has in store for you as you live to accomplish your dreams. And as I conclude, I like what Longo says. Very interesting. One of my favorite mentors, Dr. Miles Monroe, said, if you want to become successful, do not seek success. Seek to become a person of value. How do you become a person of value? Why do you go and see a doctor? You go and see a doctor because some even travel from Zambia all the way to India just to go and see a specialist doctor. Why? He's seated in his office, he's not even thinking about them, but travel all the way there. Why? Because he made himself a person of value. He got the knowledge, he improved his skills and his talents, and you pay him for that value. So, seek to become a person of value. And like we all know here, the world is different. It's no longer ABCD. No, look at what happened with COVID. There was a disruption. Everybody was confused. Economies were crashing down. So you need to be flexible because this is the economy of uncertainty. That is my main message for today. Because now we are on a crossroad, as we all know. And we need to find different ways of reaching to where we want to be. So, I like what the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, said. He said, as for me, I prefer looking into the future, my dreams of the future, than my history, the history of the past. You are at the crossroads. You are coming from history and stepping into the future. So, as you go on, press on and maintain your focus. Thank you very much.
Thank you.